Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here, and once again, we're going to talk about this whole LS situation. As always, at the time that I'm recording this video, I am doing my best to get all the latest information out to you guys from all the different sources. There's Twitch, Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, all this different stuff. By the time this video comes out, stuff may have changed. New stuff may come out. There's no way I'm ever going to be able to get every last bit of up-to-date information in a video. You know, that's just how this goes. As soon as I upload something, something else could come out instantly. So if it's not entirely up to date, I'm sorry, but I'm doing my best. And before we get into it, I just needed to tell you guys, thank you so much. I mean, these last couple days have been insane. My channel has been doing so well. Views, subscribers, all my metrics have just jumped off the charts. And it's all thanks to you. Like, obviously, there have been some massive stories, TSM, LS, all this stuff. But obviously, with all those stories, I'm competing with a ton of other very, very big people. You know, you have I Will Dominate, Kadril, Nemesis. LS is obviously going to start talking about stuff now. You have more traditional people like Travis and all the stuff he does. And the fact that I'm still able to get views and get some of you guys to click on this stuff and allow me to tell these stories or to get the news from my perspective and trust me enough to deliver these big, crazy stories to you guys just means so much to me. And obviously, one day, I really think I am going to be on the level of a lot of those guys. But to get there, I can't do any of it without you guys clicking on my videos, watching them, commenting on them, liking them, all that stuff. And with every one of these big stories that comes out, our channel grows a little bit more. We get a little bit closer to getting up there. And one of these days, you know, we will be able to be the biggest video in every single one of these topics. And I really think we're going to be killing it. But, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. We're going to get there. But with that being said, let's get right into this. The latest on the whole LS situation. When we last left off, it really seemed like a lot of people were up in arms, a lot of people were unhappy, a lot of fans were pissed, but we were hearing from, you know, Max Waldo, Fudge, a lot of these guys that are even Malice, that are friends with LS, close with him, guys that if LS was really wronged and really didn't deserve this, you know, probably would have been upset, probably would have stood up for him, probably would have been angry, but, you know, Fudge was like, hey, this was probably for the best. It wasn't really working out. Malice said, hey, there's plenty of reasons why he was fired. And none of them are saying, hey, we need LS back. Hey, screw Cloud9, none of this. So it almost seemed like, hey, maybe the LS firing is justified. Maybe there's a good explanation. Maybe there's a good reason. But now all of a sudden, some of the latest stuff we're hearing seems to be going a little bit in the opposite direction. So first off, we have this from Selfmade. Selfmade is a guy who loves attention. He is never shying away from the big story, the big drama, the big controversy. Obviously, there's been a ton of stuff in the LEC. He's got his nose in the middle of all of it. You know, he's got a ton of great sources behind the scenes because he knows everybody, but also he's very nosy. He loves drama. You know, he's reaching out to people. You know, he's asking around. You know, he's getting all the facts and everything. And then he always loves putting out information and putting out tidbits, and sometimes he ends up telling full stories. You're telling information we never heard and all this stuff. Selfmade, sometimes he plays into stuff, sometimes he trolls, but I would assume Selfmade has a pretty damn good idea of what happened, and he put this out on Twitch. He said, people really gonna hate C9 once they hear the real reason. Now, again, is it possible Selfmade's trolling? Sure. He loves attention. He wants to add fuel to the fire. He wants to mess with some people. But it's also very, very possible he knows exactly what happened. He disagrees with this. And maybe he really does think people are going to be really upset once they hear the real reason. I don't know. But I definitely do believe that Selfmade knows. Because like I said, he's a guy who lives for these stories, lives for the drama, all that. And yeah, I don't know. That's Selfmade's take on the whole situation. Again, he's usually a pretty interesting source to go for rumors and speculation and drama and all this stuff. We also had this clip from Tyler1. You might think, how does Tyler1 fit into this whole situation? Well, obviously, Tyler1's girlfriend, Michaela, works very, very closely with LS. They are very good friends. They definitely talk behind the scenes. Michaela definitely knows at least LS's version of why he was fired. I think Michaela's signed to Cloud9 as well, so maybe she even knows more information about this whole situation. And then obviously, you know, Michaela told Tyler what LS told her. So, you know, it's a little bit of a telephone game. It's a little bit of he said, she said. But here's Tyler1's take on the situation, which again is very, very different than what we have heard from Fudge, Malice, Max Waldo, some of these guys.
They said he got released. And apparently the reason, I don't know, the reasons I couldn't believe. That's what I'll say. That's all I'll say. Like, I couldn't believe that was it, apparently. Like, really? Apparently, from what I'm told, I was like, bro, shouldn't that just be a warning? That's all I'll say.
So, obviously, Tyler won from what he heard, and he makes it very, very clear, apparently, from what I've heard. He understands that it's possible he doesn't know the whole story, that he hasn't heard everything, that he's misunderstanding some things, or maybe that there's just, again, more to the story overall. But at least from what Tyler 1 knows, which, again, might be a decent telling of the events from LS to Michaela to Tyler 1, he thinks it wasn't justified. He thinks it should have just been a warning. He thinks that's it. That's all. That's what gets you fired. That's what gets you removed from the situation 2 weeks into the season after you have a pretty damn good start to the year, after you, make C9 a bunch of money, get him a bunch of new fans, your content's popping off, your team's popping off. And again, he is pretty shocked. Now, I think that's very, very interesting because, again, very different than what we were hearing before. But also, I really, really, really can't believe this is a decision that Cloud9 would make lightly, or a decision that they wouldn't be very, very, very justified in making if, for nothing else, all the reasons that we just stated, that Cloud9's fan base was growing. They were selling merch. Their content was popping off. They're doing 300K views on YouTube videos. And obviously, I'm a creator. I know how much money we're talking with videos like that. That's before factoring in sponsors and stuff. And again, their team was doing good, at least outwardly. Who knows how they were doing internally. So I don't know. This really throws a whole wrench into the situation. But we do have one more clip, and then I will give you a prediction of when I think we are going to find out what exactly happened to LS, or at least what we're going to be told happened about LS. So we do have this clip from Doublelift. I think this is Champions Queue, with him playing with Darshan, and it says, Doublelift has 2 questions for Darshan. Obviously, Darshan is on C9 Academy. Obviously, he's going to ask him about the LS situation. We'll see what he has to say.
Yo, Darshan, how come you changed your name from Zion to Zion to Darshan?
That's a great question.
I need answers.
Okay,
and why did Ellis get fired? Answer that one right afterwards.
The second question, I can't answer that one.
Okay, let's start with number 1.
You'll find out soon. Okay, the second question,
Okay, so there we have it. Darshan goes on to explain why he changed names and all that stuff. I don't care about that right now. If you care about it, go watch the clip. You see the title, you see the channel, all that stuff. But Darshan says you will find out soon. Now, he is the second person to tell us this. Fudge said this in his interview with Travis, and now Darshan has said it to Doublelift. So they're both pretty confident that we're going to find out soon. What exactly does that mean? And that got me thinking, and I tweeted this out. My prediction for when we are going to find out this is going to happen is on this week's episode of Behind the Scenes with Cloud9. This is the behind the scenes, kind of videos they have been posting, akin to something like TSM Legends, maybe a little bit lower production value or whatever, but similar to the Heist, TSM Legends, Liquid, whatever their show's called. They've been doing this, behind the scenes, where they have interviews, they have content, they have all this stuff going on. For 2 reasons, or for a bunch of reasons, I think this is going to happen. One, Cloud9 has to say something. They can't just go on like nothing happened. I understand why they maybe didn't say something last weekend. They were in the middle of their whole LCS weekend. They were probably still figuring some stuff out. They were maybe figuring out what exactly they wanted to say or how to say it, and it just wasn't a great time. They had games going on. They didn't have... It was the weekend. I get it. 2, how can you post a behind-the-scenes video without including this kind of stuff? I mean, not only is the fallout from this going to be behind the scenes, but hey, if stuff was happening during the week that led up to LS being fired, that's going to be part of their whole week of practice and everything as well, right? Also, this is kind of the perfect time to do it. It's a great time to address this stuff. You can come out under your full own, edited environment to say exactly what you want, exactly how you want to say it, to hopefully make everyone happy, and give the fans an answer. Now, obviously, there's going to be three groups of fans. There's going to be LS fans who they're going to be pissed no matter what you say, no matter what the reason is. You're going to have people who, once they hear the reason, still don't agree with you, and they're still going to be mad. And then you're going to have another group of fans who, you know, either they just wanted to hear the story, whatever it was, or they hear the story and they're like, okay, that makes sense. I'm ready to move on. Obviously, not everyone is going to move on, but C9 will be able to put some of this stuff behind them. And it's going to get a ton of views. Like, I mean, that you know, the content creator in me is like, hey, we got to get this video out this week. We got to capitalize on all this. I don't know how many views it's going to get, but multiple hundreds of thousands for sure. So when I start taking a look at this, we had C9, their behind the scenes series. They posted 3 episodes. They posted one 3 days ago on February 18th. They also posted February 11th, and they posted February 4th. So they post 7 days apart, every single video. They post every Friday. So my prediction to you guys, because Fudge has said we're going to hear soon, because Darshan has said we're going to hear soon, they must know that an announcement is coming. What better place than behind the scenes? Maybe Jack posts a random video, maybe Cloud9 posts a random Twitter video or something, but I think it's going to happen on behind the scenes. I think you'll have Jack make an appearance and address this whole situation. I think that will be coming out this Friday, February 25th? That is my prediction, that we will find out Friday right before the LCS season and at least get some answers. Now, until then, we will start hearing a bunch of random more updates from guys like Selfmade, Nemesis, Tyler One, you know, all over the place. But I'm really not expecting to hear anything from Cloud9 officially until Friday, and then I think that will be the last we hear about this situation, at least from the team. Now, I could be wrong, but it makes a ton of sense to me. That's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Let me drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this whole situation. Do you think we're going to be shocked, surprised, upset when we find out the truth? Or is your hunch that the LS firing was justified? You know, we've really heard both at this point. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.